reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network. You're listening to LotRO Reporter on the MMO Reporter Network, brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter. And by Doghouse Systems. Choose your weapon at doghousesystems.com.
Welcome to LotRO Reporter episode 243. I am your host, Carrie, and I am joined, as always, by the Minion Master himself, Leonor. Hi, Leonor.
Hello, Minions. I am still level 100. How about you, Carrie?
I'm level 96 and a half.
Mm.
The half is very important. And people in the live stream can actually see that half, and they probably can see my horrible conglomeration of bars. So we're just going to turn the UI off so they don't have to look at that horribleness of mess. It works for me, and nobody died on my... Well, people... So before we recorded
you keep
tonight...
changing a lot of things there.
Yeah. Before we recorded tonight, we ran one of the three-man instances called Halls of Night, which I had actually never been in, and it was pretty cool. It was actually really, really cool. It's kind of nightmarish and awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody died because I didn't heal them good enough. They died because stuff killed them faster than I could heal them.
Yeah, close to one-shotting.
Yeah, I got... It was pretty close. So if I wasn't on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So what else did you do besides being level 100 still this week?
I want to go through a little bit of the content with you and Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And, Ela. Ela was there too.
Yes, Ela.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
And, let's see. I swear I did more.
Well,
I went out to the PvP area. There wasn't very much going on, which I pretty much assumed.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I planned on doing a lot because everybody's running a lot of stuff to do to get first stagers.
Yeah.
So yes, I am planning to play more.
Okay. But you have been busy doing
That's what
other
I
things.
did this week.
Planning to play more. Well, I ran through the Paths of the Dead twice, once by myself and once with you guys as a group. So I got to see the differences in that particular first instance. Two things I've noticed. One, the stuff hits really, really hard now. I'm a mini, I'm squishy anyway, but 3 guys would just wipe me out. I could take 2 if I feared one and sent them running away. 3 and I was toast. But I would get 2 guys in a wave, whereas when we went through as a 3-man instance, we would get like 9. Yeah, we got like way more guys than I did when my instances when I ran through the instance solo the first couple of times because I died.
Yep.
Hit the first town. It was kind of cool. I bet Chrissy couldn't get lost in that town, and I was right. It is very much a one path up, one path down kind of town. And that's pretty much what I did. Ela helped me out a lot killing stuff, so he got me to level 96.
Ela is pretty cool.
Yeah, we killed one of the one of the warbands. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't hear anybody talk about when they were doing the walkthroughs and stuff, that there are warbands.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the warbands was one of the ghosts from the Paths of the Dead. He had like 300 and some odd thousand hit points.
Holy cow.
So Ela's not coming over and by me, and he's not coming. I was like, I go over and see what he's doing, and he's like riding around trying to kill this guy. So I helped, and then some other dude showed up and helped. So 3 of us finally took this guy down. But yeah, that's pretty much what we have done this week in LotRO. right. News. There was a live chat last week with the executive producer, and there was a lot of stuff in it. Like a lot of stuff. But not a lot of like news stuff. It's just a lot of reiteration of the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like the LIs and level cap. So they did confirm that this new LI thing with their what are they calling infused? Is that what they're calling them?
Imbued.
Imbued. They are planning to have an advancement level with those and actually have special relics you can get for imbued LIs and then special content you can go back and do with those LIs. And so, yes, they're coming up with a 57th different type of thing to level.
No kidding, huh?
Rep, guild, crafting, fishing, LIs, imbued LIs, horses, essences, big battles, skirmishes.
Yep.
Do you level
skirmish soldiers.
Skirmish soldiers. I've got 9 so far, and and tasks, and I'm not trying very hard. Yeah.
Yeah. PvP ranking.
That's 11.
What else do we level up in this game? That's quite a few.
Your shoes, I don't know. You know, if you don't find something to do in this game, you're not trying very hard. Virtues.
Crafting?
Virtues. We already named crafting. Virtues. That's like 12 or 13. So if you can't figure out something to like advance at level cap, you're not trying hard. Somebody asked about deciding on making the Beorning level 50 or 1, and basically what it came down to is they were going to charge you for the gift of the valor with the Beorning. So it was going to be very expensive. It was going to probably be $60. So I was like, well, why don't we unhook those and give the opportunity of level 1, let that be less expensive, and if they do want to level to 50, they can buy the gift of the valor, and we'll have a bundle with that too. Also, Maid of Lions was really trying to find reasons for Gandalf to accept us and Frodo to want to talk to us, when we just kind of walked in at level 50.
Mm-hmm.
So, that kind of lore-wise made sense, story-wise made sense too. So that's why they decided to do that. It would be more opportunity for players to try it, and people really do like going through the old content. I mean, the lobby levels and seeing all that cool stuff.
I wish they would do bounties again. I know we got stuff like warbands and whatnot, but I really liked bounties. Remember bounties?
That's the big arm thing, right?
Bounties was in Estelden, and the main reason was to go out and kill some boss thing that is in the middle of some lobby area somewhere, like the Shire or Forkel or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
And the reward would be a large chunk of legendary item experience.
Oh. There are bounties in Estelden now. They're on the walls there. I was just up there the other day leveling in that area, and I noticed them like actual boards with bounties on them, 4 or 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, they put a dragon in the Misty Mountains that you had to go hunt down with a group and everything. It was a really cool system. I missed that.
Oh, I didn't know there was a dragon in the Misty Mountains. I get lost in the Misty Mountains a lot, though. I get lost everywhere. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Somebody asked why there is no group content in Update 14, and they're like, wait a minute, there is.
There is.
And Rowan said, as he said last week, that the entirely new area, the feedback he's been getting about that is the quests are actually challenging and for the most part require a balanced group, and apparently 24 people.
Yeah, that one's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It is called King's something. If anybody in the chat room can help me out. It felt like unintentional raid. 24-man raid. There's all kinds of mobs, Corsairs in this area, and trolls. And what you do is you go in there and you just start killing things for whatever quest or whatever. But the respawn rate is so dang high, and these things have so much morale that it feels like you need a raid to go through this. And Brandywine is just pugging raids to go through this thing every day. It's absolutely amazing, and I hope they do not nerf this because this is actually a lot of fun.
Well, they said farther down in the thing, somebody asked again about this stuff, and they're like, well, they're not planning on lowering the difficulty on this because, like, the Limlet Gorge, that was supposed to be a group area, and if you had the right class, you could solo some of that stuff down in there. And they don't want that to happen again with this area. They want it to be for groups. So they're not planning at this time on doing anything with that.
Right. That's cool. I like that.
Yep. Somebody asked about, lots of questions about group content, and he says, you mean the question that when are we getting a new small group, large group content, and when are we getting raids, etc. He says he's not trying to sidestep it, but you're getting epic battle. It's going to be an offensive epic battle, not a defensive epic battle. You're basically taking the city of us. You're taking the city.
I want to see how that's going to work.
Yep. You're supposed to be taking the city so he can come in, opening the gates so Aragorn can come in with his Oathbreakers is the plan.
Well, there has to be catapult still and all of those systems all in place from epic battles. So I wonder if they're just going to be towing this stuff along with us, or are we just going to be grabbing ballistas and stuff from the walls so we can fight or whatever. I don't know. It's going to be kind of neat to see what's going on.
Yep. So one of the things, it's about being able to see the wide view of the army of Oathbreakers sweeping out over the sea and washing the Corsairs into the ocean. And that in one of the things that they planned before the end of the year is 3 new areas, like we have in the new quest content epic book, and the battle at Pelargir, Haradrim, half trolls, mounted reavers, and all kinds of things. So they will be building out a 6-man version of the epic battle, and they do hear the call for instance spaces, and they will continue to keep that in mind. But they're, as they've said before, they're following story, not mechanic. Yeah. And we get to see the Dead Marshes. They're just going to send us out there for about 5 quests just so we can see it.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. There's really nothing going on over there, honestly. It's like, okay, there's Sam, Frodo, and Smeagol running across the,
right,
the land, but or Gollum.
And then they were attacked by nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing going on over there. So the fact that they're even putting it in to let us see it is, really, and it's not an instance like maybe even be like that instance stuff where you play as Frodo or whatever.
Yeah.
They may even end up doing that, but at least they're going to let us go see it on our own.
Yeah.
Beornings are coming in 15. 15 will be before the end of the year. They do not have any plans to update the older instances, and it is not on the map for this year. They're going to continue to
grumble.
I know.
Loudly grumble.
I know. We'll keep grumbling, maybe they'll hear you. Hobnobigans, they're going to continue to try to smooth it out a little bit, but don't expect like any big overhauls. I have yet to go and play it when it's up. I just keep forgetting. It's like, oh yeah, okay. They are talking about other ways they can get monster play going, like the Dauntless Days and Trolls and Osgiliath. So they are talking about it, but they didn't promise anything. Yeah. I wouldn't hold my breath, but it would be really cool. I would actually go out to PvMP to play an Osgiliath myself. I think you get more people to try both sides.
I think that we would get a lot more people. I don't see a reason why to have the Moors as a PvP place anymore if this comes out, because then you're just splitting the groups.
Yeah, yeah.
But there is a lot of love for the old map, and that should not be closed down. But there's no reason why we should be splitting the Moors group.
Mm-hmm.
The new area is going to be, if
Yeah.
if we get this map, it's going to be so cool and pretty. And do you know how many people are going to come back if they hear that there's a new map?
Yeah, a lot. It'll be
I
a
mean,
lot.
there's just a ton of diehards that have left because, they've been playing that at Morse for 2, 3, 4 years. Some of them are rank 15 and feel that they have, done everything. A new map, geez, these guys will probably be back and probably playing for another couple years, 2, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
That'll be
it would be
interesting.
some big news if they do that.
Yeah. Um, Somebody flat out asked if Beornings are going to be free, and it's like nobody gets them for free.
Nobody.
Nobody, and they don't know what the price is yet.
It's got to be the price of the Warden and the
I
rune-keeper.
think it will be, but I could be wrong.
Save your turbine points.
Mm-hmm. So they wanted to know if the next epic battle is locked behind the next epic book is locked behind epic battles, and the answer is no. You actually get this epic battle for free, and it is part of the book that is free.
Awesome. Very cool. Very, very
Yep.
cool.
Yep. So somebody asked you about a super gift of the valor to get you to 75 or end game, and they said they thought about it, but they've decided that that's not where they want to balance stuff. So 50 is where they're sticking at.
That's kind of surprising because a lot of games right now are doing, all the way to the end, max level, or at least close to max level, like within the 10 levels of the end.
Mm-hmm.
EverQuest has done it. EverQuest 2 has done it. I think
WoW is doing it.
WoW is doing it. There are a lot of games that are doing that right now.
Mm-hmm. In the Beorning starter area is just going to be like an instanced area for Beorning starter. It's not going to be some place that everybody can go visit.
Mm-hmm.
Just as so there's going to be storyline and stuff like that, but it will just be kind of like a Archette kind of thing. For those of you who are hoping to go visit it, I guess it's not going to happen. Somebody asked about purchasing the LotRO music. The Writer's Rohan soundtrack is still available on iTunes if you want to go get it, and they're looking at maybe putting some of the other stuff on SoundCloud.
Ooh, nice.
Yep. Somebody asked us if there were going to be instances related to the Paths of the Dead, and it's like, well, they've already been launched, and we do have stuff for you to do in there. I guess there are capstone quests, and some of the repeatables are there.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people automatically assumed that there was going to be some sort of instances that were involved in this area because Turbine had said if there was an instance cluster area, they would put it in relating to the story. Well, that's a candidate.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And I really thought that they were going to at least do a 6-man, but technically I guess we did get that because we have the epic story that amps up as soon as you bring more people in. So
yep. All right, so somebody asked what can we expect from Minas Tirith, and we got a lot of information. So he mapped out the arc. So they're headed to Central Gondor. They're going to sweep away the Corsairs' army of the living and the dead, and take the ships and travel upstream to Eastern Gondor, Minas Tirith, and Osgiliath. So the story is to go to Osgiliath next year, probably around the time of the LotRO anniversary. That's what they hope. And then by the end of the next year, they're going to be on, at the end of next year, so it'll be the end of 2015, they're going to be on to the Siege of Minas Tirith, which would be the army advances up the wall of Minas Tirith, and the story would end with the breaking of the gates and Gandalf kind of holding off the armies. He's specific about that because they'd want to follow another storyline, which is the Battle of Pelennor Fields, which would be much more out in the fields themselves, and that's going to be 2016 and the end of the following year. So you're looking at 2015, 2016 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be spending a lot of time in Eastern Gondor. like many updates worth of stuff there.
Yep.
And then, so you could see an epic battle, you're going to see landscape quest, you're going to see epic story, large scale instances. So he's going to try to figure it there, things like that.
Good. Fill out Gondor.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. I want to see it. That'd be great.
Yep. Somebody asked about the side areas like Grey Havens and Tower Hills, and he's like, well, not during the main story time, but after the fall, and after the scouring of the Shire, which is an obvious thing, then they could look at those areas afterwards, maybe. So that was pretty much. We're holding out a slight small hope that they might give us a Gondorian hairstyle soon. Yep. And
you got high hopes.
I have quite high hopes. You will be getting more character slots. They just don't know how many. And then somebody asked about essences being added to jewelry or weapons, and they're thinking if it works, they might be able to expand it. But of course, weapons are LI, so why put essences on them, kind of thing, and that kind of thing.
I'd rather have cosmetics.
Yeah.
Weapon cosmetics. Come on.
I really would like weapons cosmetics. And then we had a very interesting community update. Would you like to tell us about this, Lenore?
Where is it?
I will highlight it for you.
There we go.
Okay, found it?
Yes. I noticed this today earlier. Like early today. It was Sapience saying that this was one of the hardest posts that he's made in 6 years. And it is basically him talking about leaving Lord of the Rings Online and becoming the community manager over at Extra Life, which we all know that he's been working really hard for.
Yes, he loves it. It's a group that's near and dear to his heart. He's up to like $30,000 at this point in money raised. I mean, he's it's something near and dear to him. So I think he's going to do a great job for them. I think he's very excited.
Yep. He doesn't really say anything about when he's leaving or anything, right?
The Shield Forum today. He says he's out. He's gone August 1st.
August 1st, so end of the month.
Yeah, he's going to finish up the Shield stuff. Of course, he's going to be doing the Extra Life stuff. Everything that's been promised from LotRO will be given, even though he's leaving, and including the tattoo for $100,000. So for $25, you guys can get all kinds of special mounts and pets and stuff if he reaches the goals, like ghost bears and special red steeds and stuff like that. So that is the news for today. Well, do you have a Did You Know this week, Lanor?
No.
Okay.
I am, however, in the middle of writing a turbine point farming guide.
Cool. We'll look at that.
My power leveling guide is actually still doing very, very well on my blog. It's like my top post.
Cool.
And I'm getting a lot of views on it. I'm getting about 15 to 25 views from all over the world on that one post. So I'm going to try and topple something, another topic which people have been asking about, and which is farming turbine points. So
Cool.
I'm going to try my best and see what I can do. So if anybody has any tips or any old guides or anything that I haven't talked about before,
check out Tales of Arda.
I think I might have looked at that one already. Okay. Send them in, twit me them, whatever you guys want to do. And I'll try and compile something that's up to date and quick.
Okay. All right. We ran our 3-mans. We ran, as I said, we ran Halls of Night earlier tonight, and then we ran Dargnok
Unleashed.
Unleashed. What?
Dark Nagadi knock.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we voted. We like Halls of Night because Darknock is mean.
Yes. Darnok is pretty cool. If you don't know it, basically there is a troll that breaks free in
Darknock smash.
Orthanc. And basically what you do, you just make him madder and madder and madder, so he smashes up the place more and more and more. And at the end, you have to try and kill him. And the instance is kind of cool because there is a little bit of a story going through it, and there's some fun moments. And it's actually pretty well made. Real quick, because we got cut off, is about a troll that runs through Orthanc, and basically you just keep getting him more mad and more mad until he just smashes up the place more and more, and then you try and kill him at the end. The instance actually is pretty cool because it's got that little storyline going through the whole thing, and it's a lot of fun because there's a lot of different things that you need to do in that.
Yep, there it
And
is.
the Halls of Night is you kind of just stumble into a dungeon and something forces you to pass out and dream and experience a old nightmare from the past. And you have to go through there and you have to do a couple boss fights and do, some other things in there too, story specific type things. And that is really cool and laid out as well too. But I think Halls of Night is just so dang pretty.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You have this dream feeling as you're going through, and some of the scenery that, especially the main bridge that you walk across, the stars are out all over the place, but you're still inside of a dungeon.
Yeah.
And you walk through and you see this glowy portal and all of this, kind of mist on the sides and this the cool water ripple effect that goes onto a wall if you shine light on water. That's there, and all these really cool effects all over the place. And even though it's a shorter instance than Darnak, at least that's what I think. Halls of Night, I mean, all three of us voted thumbs up.
Yep, Halls of Night won. Yep.
Totally won. And that's going to be a big one to try and knock down.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one. Yep. All right, and in community, we had a couple of things. The first one was there was an article at the gamesindustry.biz about the Old Republic earning $165 million last year. The interesting thing is Lord of the Rings Online is number 5 at $104 million, or 4% of the market share.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's high.
EVE Online was 93 million at 3% of the market share. That's pretty high, I thought. Yeah.
That's pretty high, yeah.
So we're not doing too bad. Rift was number 10. Lineage 2 was number 2. That's that Asian one, isn't it? Blade and Soul is number 8. Aeon number 7, and then of course, World of Warcraft is the animal. They want like $1 billion in revenue.
Right, yeah.
But anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. There's a link in the show if you are interested in looking at some of the different revenues and half-naked ladies on there. But okay, moving on. And during the live stream, Mama pointed this out to me because I pulled it out. Chance Thomas is going to be performing are going to be directing the Salt Lake City Symphony Orchestra with some Lord of the Rings Online Wardens of Rohan music at their Video Games Live performance on September 6th. That is in conjunction with Salt Lake City Comic Con.
I want to go.
Video Games Live is really awesome. I have seen it at Seattle Symphony. It is a really, really, really cool one, and to have Chance Thomas directing some of the Riders of Rohan stuff will be amazing. Amazing. So, and that's what we have in community. Leonor, would you like to tell us about our awesome sponsors?
Yes, if you are looking for a new PC, then check out doghousesystems.com and use the coupon code MMOReporter to double your RAM. And also, if you're looking for a new audiobook to play on long trips, Go to audible.com/MMO Reporter to get one credit. One credit for a free month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You get a month free, which is a credit, which is for a free book.
Yeah, I apologize for that. I was trying to do something cool, but that didn't work, so it just fell on my face.
We also have our Patreon drive going still. We're up to 12 patrons at $51 for $51 in a month. Thank you all supporters. That's so awesome. Excuse me. So check out patreon.com/MMO Reporter for information there. You can email us at lotro.reporter@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at LotRO Reporter. You can check us out on Facebook. Just search for LotRO Reporter. I usually repost the stuff from LotRO and some other stuff from CSTM, things like that. You can leave us a voicemail at 616-666-6778 or use the widget on the right-hand side of your screen when you visit the site. Our site, of course, is LotRoReporter.com. You can also check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/user/MMO Reporter Network. Be sure to follow us because PAX is coming up and we do try to get good stuffs out to you, like the nights of PAX and things like that. So you want to make sure that you subscribe so you know when that stuff's coming.
Mhm.
Also, follow us at twitch.tv/MMO Reporter. Be sure to follow us so you know when we go live, like Tuesday nights, which seems to be a traffic jam night because we had Defiance Reporter. Then we have Three Men's and we have LotRO Reporter. And in just a few minutes, Chris is going to be running some Wild Star for you all if you're interested in watching that.
Mhm.
You can follow me on Twitter at @TheCarrieMac. And Leonor?
You can fire me at Layanor, Layanor.
But he won't follow. No, we won't go there. We
I
won't
fire
go
you back.
there. Yeah, he won't fire you back. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you for hanging out in the chat room and watching us run our Three Mans. We really appreciate it. It's kind of fun to let people see some of the older content.
Oh yeah.
We're going to run them again Monday night. We'll start about 9 o'clock. I don't know what we're running next week, but it should be fun. And thank you again for downloading the podcast and listening. And as always, we hope to see you in game.